Good morning, everybody. News at 10. It's it's a quiet day of news, but what we're going to do is we're going to pummel it. We're going to literally drill it into your face. Story, break. Read the comments. Story. Exactly. Let's get straight into it. Let's go to the back pages let's go with the Daily Mail first. I won't put up with lazy hammers, warns boss. David Moyes had his first press conference.
Cracking the whip.
I heard a snippet of it, and he was saying how if you don't work, then you won't be playing for this team. If your attitude's not right, you won't be playing for this team. If you don't run, you won't be playing for this team, said David Moyes.
So run.
To 8 of the players, because everyone else is on international duty. But he's told the rest of them that he's going to let them know all that stuff when they come back, the other 20 odd. So, laying down his marker early doors.
What a manager.
In the Times, Moyes again, there will be tears. He is cracking the whip, is old David, good lad. In the Express, this is interesting. Kane chaos. Pochettino adds insult to injury by saying that the England star is okay. Of course, he pulled out of the England squad for the 2 games against Germany and Brazil, and yet Pochettino saying he's going to be fine for the Arsenal game, which sort of begs the question: how injured was he?
Not very.
It would seem so. Very disappointing, all of that England stuff, but we won't get into that too much. Back page of The Guardian, Moyes vows to take hard line with West Ham once again. In The Independent, quite an interesting, not even interesting, quite an obvious one. Sunderland was a mistake, says David Moyes. He's good, isn't he? He's good for a line. He knows what he's doing. And the back page of The Mirror, which we'll dive into a little bit more. Aguero wants to head back to Argentina in 18 months, and Wilshere fears that he might need to leave Arsenal to get his World Cup place. He's saying that he's a proud Englishman. He wants to play for England, and if he's not getting in the starting 11 at Arsenal, which he's not at the moment, then he might have to go further afield. So those are your back pages. The title of the video today is about Luis Suarez and him claiming that Phillipe Coutinho wants to go to Barcelona. Thoughts on this, Samuel?
I think it's pretty obvious that Coutinho does want to go to Barcelona as soon as he handed in a transfer request in the summer. But obviously that transfer fell through because Barcelona didn't offer enough money for Liverpool. But any Liverpool fans watching this now, having seen your attack with and without Coutinho, do you think you've got enough that you could cope without Coutinho, and you could do without 100, 120, 130 million to invest in maybe 2-3 top draw centre-backs, maybe another midfielder? Maybe selling Coutinho could solve the problems in your squad. Let me know in the comments yes or no as to whether you would sell Coutinho in the summer if that money does come in again. But then again, if he doesn't have as good a season and he doesn't go to the World Cup with Brazil, that price will go down a little bit.
I mean, I would expect him to go to the World Cup. This is the comment from Luis Suarez, told Mundo Deportivo. Obviously, he must have wanted to go to Barcelona because he's a player who has ambition, and any player would want to come to Barcelona. I know him as a person and as a player because I played with him, but everyone knows what Coutinho can contribute. What's quite interesting generally in the press is that a lot of these stories are starting to come out again. We're getting to mid-November, and so people are probably trying to the press want to talk about it, but also clubs and agents, we know for a fact that they leak stories and they put out these stories to start to sort of stoke the fires. You've also got a lot of articles on the fact that Neymar is apparently trying to convince him to go to PSG as well. So it feels to me like it's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, I know.
Will go. But January feels too
It's
soon.
weird, I suppose, and because we're doing this news at 10 every single day, Monday to Friday, you'll probably start seeing these patterns in the press because we haven't seen much or anything transfer related. But now that we're going into November, going into that month before the January transfer window, watch there be, as you're right, agents leaking stories to the press. There's clearly going to be a lot more transfer talk coming up.
Yes. Let's move on to the big story this evening, which is going to be the World Cup playoffs, certainly in Europe. Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, both involved in those. Republic of Ireland away at Denmark, and Northern Ireland are playing Switzerland at home. Michael O'Neill said that the crucial thing is that they don't concede that away goal. Switzerland are a really tough team to play in this. They had a 100% record in the group until they, I think, lost the last qualifier, which allowed Portugal to nick that top spot. So they're probably one of the toughest ones. The other interesting matchup is Sweden versus Italy. Italy they haven't not qualified, if that makes sense, for the World Cup since 1958. That was the last time they missed out on it. So
Sweden's not an easy draw at all.
No, not at all. A lot of decent players there. They were unlucky not to make it out their group as well. Gianpiero Ventura is the veteran manager for Italy, and there's a lot of there's a bit of unrest with Italy in the way that they've been set up. They got beat 3-0 by Spain recently, and they played 4-2-4, which is not the Italian way. He's a veteran manager who's had 20 clubs and first started managing in 1978. So he's been around the block.
He has been around the block.
So he should know his stuff. But that is a World Cup without Italy is unthinkable, isn't it?
I remember Sweden though. Didn't England draw Sweden in like 2 consecutive Joe Cole scored that banger in the group stages.
During the Sven years, wasn't it?
Yeah, almost we kept drawing Sweden.
Yeah, and Croatia versus Greece is the other one as well. Croatia have got a great record in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You would expect them to get through that against
Greece as well.
With the great players that they've got on shows. But it's going to be interesting. And across the world, it's Peru or New Zealand in the South America Oceania playoff. Honduras versus Australia in the CONCACAF Asia playoff. Tunisia versus Congo, who could still make it through. Morocco and Ivory Coast could still make it through as well. And even Burkina Faso could still make it. That would be absolutely...
Let's head straight into the comments now. Let's quickly, a couple points on the Liverpool from a few Liverpool fans. We've got Zizzy saying, I'd be okay with letting Coutinho go. With Naby and Lallana, obviously Naby Carter's joining Liverpool. We'll be fine. I'm not keen on having a player who doesn't want to be at the club. Besides, we have more important players in the squad. Then there's another comment, I can't remember here, where is it? Flashman saying, wouldn't sell him before the summer, but if we do let him go and we got a good price, and as long as it's reinvested in the squad, I'm happy. Yeah. I mean, United fans did say the same thing about Ronaldo. And then we signed Valencia, Obertan and Michael Owen. So we didn't really...
You've got to do it right, haven't you?
Yeah, if you reinvest, you've seen the errors of when Gareth Bale was sold by Spurs and when Lukaku was sold by Everton. You need to make sure if you do sell a top draw player, instead of just buying 5 or 6, just buy 2 top draw players. And Naby Carter's one of them in 70 million euros, I think it is.
Which they're doing anyway, so you're right. They've got a bit of time here. Coutinho... Let's be honest. He wants to go. He wants to go to one of those top clubs. Don't get angry. Be it Barcelona, PSG. That's what he's got in his mind. So you've got a great opportunity there to improve that defence, which everyone knows is the weak point for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Aguero. He's been a cracking player for Liverpool. He's been a great player for Man City. It looks like he's set to leave at the end of next season. He's basically said that AC Milan and I think it was Real Madrid as well have come out and said that they were quite interested in him, but after his contract ends next year, he has got the option of another year if he wants to take it. But he's always had the dream of going back to Independiente, which was his boyhood club, which is the club he played for initially before going to Atletico Madrid. So he's come out and said he's pretty much guaranteed that he will end his career there, and that's how he wants to do it. And his international teammate Messi has also come out as well, saying that he wants to do the same thing. He wants to go to his boyhood club, Newell's Old Boys, at the end of his career. He can start to look for a different club in January because he still hasn't signed that 4-year deal.
That's mad. Imagine not letting the best player in the world and you haven't got him tied down to a contract. He can be leaving. Obviously, he's not going to leave on a free because he wouldn't do that to Barcelona, but just a very odd situation Barcelona have let themselves get into there with Messi.
So that'll be it. I think he's got a few years left. I think he'll have to make a decision after this World Cup of what he wants to do because he has won everything else in the European games. So if he can win that World Cup, or even if he doesn't win that World Cup, does he want to just kind of step back through it now?
Exactly. If he wins the World Cup, there's more chance of him going back to Argentina.
Yeah.
Because he's just won the World Cup with Argentina, but that's the complete set for him. What else can he achieve in football?
Yeah, true. And then final 2 things. One, I forgot to talk about it when we were doing our international roundup, but Sadio Mane, the Liverpool physio, has joined Sadio Mane in the Senegal squad just to make sure that he doesn't get injured again. He got injured in the last 10 minutes during the last international break, which annoyed a lot of Liverpool fans when there was some crucial games coming up for them. So they've sent a bloke to go with him to make sure. So in the last 10 minutes, he's just looking at the ref, giving him evils, going, hoik him off.
That last be really, really awkward for the Senegalese manager. Just literally sitting there, just looking over him, saying, you know what to do.
Exactly.
You know what to do. Dave! Don't know why it's called Dave, but... Speaking of Dave, there's a couple of comments here calling out you're a much smarter and more intelligent Dave Grohl in your red lumberjack shirt.
I will take that. Thank you for that. I've gone lumberjack this morning.
We do own quite a few checker shirts, I've realised.
It's become a thing, apparently.
That's
it's my day
checker
to be a
shirts, by the way.
And final story today, the longest serving player for Chelsea he's eyeing up an escape route.
Devastating news, that, isn't it?
According to the Mirror, Matej Delac, is that right, Craig? I said that right? has been plagued by work permit issues. He went to Chelsea when he was 18 years old, and in a 7-year stint, he has never played a game for Chelsea. And he's now after 7 years, he's thinking, I think I might need to call it a day now. It's incredible that someone can be there for so long.
So does that mean he's been earning a wage for 7 years and never had to play a game of football? I mean, technically that's one of the best careers ever in football.
Yeah, well, Craig made a great point before we went on air that he's probably earned more money than we will ever earn in our entire life.
And he's done nothing.
He's literally done nothing. He's never been registered for the Premier League. He's been there 7 years. He's a decent goalkeeper. Croatia under 21.
How do you know if he's a decent goalkeeper or not? He hasn't played a game in 7 years.
He's played for Croatia under 21, so
he must be good.
Okay. He says though, just if you're worried about his state of mind, he has no regrets. So, well, I bet he's not, because he's probably there for the money. So, if you've got any well-wishing messages for Matej,
it's a sad day for Chelsea.
It's a difficult day for Chelsea fans all around.
It's going to be hard to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got a club yet. I think this is just he's doing this big exclusive interview to try and get a few suitors to come in.
We should try and get an interview with him.
Maybe we could have him for the Bull Street team.
Hook him up with Jim Irwin. He might be an agent.
Could be an option. So sad news for Chelsea today as well.
Very, very sad.
So that's a lot.
Got a comment here from Tom Cash, who's currently watching this in my A-level business lesson. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I think it's probably a good thing.
Has he got his headphones in?
I remember doing that at school. Do you remember, like, during the World Cup, you used to sit there with your radio and your earphone up your sleeve and stuff.
Radio?
Yeah, no, not radio.
A tiny one, little Walkman. So that's it. Loads of news stories we're giving you there. We're not going to waste any more of your time because you've got to get on with your day.
Yeah.
You've got to get on.
You've got to get on with business.
We've got the One for the Weekend podcast coming up later this evening, so don't miss that. We're going to have all sorts of fun with it because essentially it's the international break, and apart from the playoffs, there's not some good stuff. So we're going to go random.
What do you mean?
We're going to go random.
There's a Sven-Goran Eriksson video on Bull Street from yesterday.
That's true. That is good.
That's the best thing you
could
ever watch.
Donald Trump. A lot of angry Donald Trump fans getting in the comments there, so that's quite interesting.
Great
so go check that out as well. Subscribe to Bull Street. Hit that notification bell. Do it right now because we're here every single morning to do news at 10. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Like the video maybe if you enjoyed the lumberback. Lumberback?
Lumberback.
What's the word?
I'm bringing lumberback.
Okay. Yeah. Lumberjack.
Lumberjack. Don't act like you don't know. It's your hobby.
No, but I had a moment there. Hit that like button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see you again tomorrow.